Have you ever paused to ask yourself, what actually happens to your mind when you sleep? Not your body, not your dreams, but the deeper part of you, the quiet part, the one that never sleeps, your subconscious. Every night, as your body rests, your subconscious awakens. It listens, it absorbs, and most importantly, it builds. Here's something most people never realize. The thoughts you think before falling asleep are seeds, and by morning, they begin to take root, shaping your emotions, your choices, your self-belief, your entire life. Let me ask you something. What do you usually think about before you drift off? Is it regret, worrying, the to-do list for tomorrow? Or is it kindness, hope, healing? What if I told you that you have the power to change your entire mental state, not by doing more, but simply by changing the final thoughts you feed your mind each night? What if instead of replaying old fears, you whispered something empowering to yourself? Something intentional. Something that told your mind, it's okay to let go. You're safe now. You're enough. That's not just self-care. That's reprogramming. That's deep, silent transformation. Because here's the truth. You don't have to fight for change. Sometimes, the most powerful change happens when you rest. So tonight, I'm inviting you into something sacred. Not just another motivational video, but a nightly ritual that can gently reshape your reality. We're going to speak to your subconscious. We're going to plant affirmations, words of truth, love, and belief deep within your mind. And as you sleep, these affirmations will do their quiet work, healing, empowering, and rebuilding you from within. No pressure, no effort, just your breath, your heart, and these words. So let's make this your new nightly routine. Turn down the lights. Take a slow, intentional breath. Let go of everything that happened today, the noise, the rush, the expectations. None of it matters right now. All that matters is this moment, this stillness, this reset. And as you sink into that stillness, let these affirmations become the gentle voice that guides your dreams and silently transforms your life. Let's begin. Let me ask you a simple but powerful question. What are you still holding on to that you were never meant to carry into your sleep? A conversation that went wrong? A mistake you made today? That thing you wish you said or didn't say? Or maybe it's the future, those what-ifs that spiral through your head at 2 a.m. It's okay. We all do it. We all carry the weight of the day into the night, thinking if we worrying hard enough, maybe it'll fix itself by morning. But here's the truth. Worrying doesn't solve anything, it only steals your rest. It drains your peace. It puts your mind into survival mode when your body is begging for stillness. That's why tonight's first affirmation is so important. Breathe in, breathe out, and speak this to yourself slowly, gently, like a whisper to your soul. I release everything I cannot control. Let that sink in. Say it again if you need to. I release everything I cannot control. Now, maybe your mind resists that. Maybe it wants to hang on to keep fixing, replaying, rewinding. But friend, you were not designed to carry the entire world on your shoulders. You are not your past. You are not your mistakes. You are not responsible for healing everyone else at the expense of your own peace. Releasing isn't giving up. It's giving space. It's letting the storm pass without letting it live in you. Imagine this. You're holding a heavy bag filled with bricks, each brick labeled with something out of your control. A harsh comment. A missed opportunity. Someone else's judgment. Tomorrow's unknowns. Now picture this. You set that bag down, right here, beside your bed. And you whisper, "Not tonight. Tonight, I choose peace." Because when you hold on to what you can't control, you lose the energy to change what you can. But when you release, truly release, you make room. Room for healing. Room for clarity. Room for peace to settle in your bones like warm light. Let me share something personal. There was a time I used to fall asleep clutching every conversation I regretted, every unfinished task, every fear that tomorrow would go wrong. And you know what it got me? Exhaustion, tight shoulders, racing thoughts at 1 a.m. But then I started this one practice. Every night, before sleep, I would sit with my thoughts, and one by one, I would name the things outside my control and mentally lay them down. Like laying bricks out of a bag. Like giving myself permission to rest. And over time, not overnight, something shifted. I woke up lighter. I faced mornings with more energy. And even when the problems didn't go away, I stop letting them live rent-free in my mind. You deserve that too. So tonight, let's draw a line in the sand. Let this affirmation be your boundary between worrying and rest, between stress and serenity. I release everything I cannot control. Say it. Mean it. Even if your mind doesn't believe it, yet your soul will. Because rest is not a reward. It is a right. You don't have to earn your peace. You just have to allow it. So here's what I want you to remember. You can release without resolving. You can rest without having every answer. You can lay your head on the pillow knowing that you've done your best, and that is more than enough. So now, let go. Let the day melt away. Let your breath slow down. Let the silence hold you. And let this affirmation be the first brick in the foundation of a more peaceful mind. I release everything I cannot control. Say it one more time, not as a wish, but as a decision. Because tonight, you are choosing peace over pressure, grace over guilt, freedom over fear. And that single decision could change the way you wake up tomorrow. Let me ask you something quietly, gently. When was the last time you truly felt safe? Not just physically safe, but emotionally safe, mentally calm, spiritually grounded. Do you ever lie in bed, your body still, but your mind racing, your chest tight, your thoughts scattered like leaves in the wind? You're not alone. In fact, millions of people fall asleep each night in a state of quiet panic, their eyes closed, but their nervous system wide awake, hyper alert, waiting for the next problem, expecting the worst, bracing for something even when nothing is coming. Why? Because somewhere along the way, our world convinced us that rest is dangerous, that letting your guard down makes you vulnerable, that you can't relax until everything is under control, every bill paid, every message answered, every future planned. But here's the gentle truth I want you to hear tonight. You are safe. You are supported. You are at peace. Let those words wash over you like warm light. Say them out loud with me or softly in your mind. I am safe. I am supported. I am at peace. Say it again. Slowly. Intentionally. Let it echo through every part of you that's been carrying fear. Because safety isn't just about locked doors or quiet streets. It's about being able to sit in silence with yourself and not feel like you're under attack. It's about having a space internally where your thoughts don't scare you, where your emotions are welcome, where your mistakes don't define you. And tonight, I want you to create that space, right here, inside your heart. Because the truth is, you don't have to do everything. You don't have to hold everything. You don't have to fix everything, not tonight. The world can wait. The inbox can wait. The expectations can wait. Right now, the only thing you owe yourself is presence. Let me tell you something I've learned through many restless nights. Safety doesn't always come from external things. It doesn't come from a perfect plan or a balanced checkbook or someone else's approval. It comes from within. It comes from that quiet voice in your soul that says, you've made it through 100% of your worst days. You are stronger than you think. You are not alone in this. Can you feel that? That stillness beneath the chaos? That's peace. That's safety. That's your spirit whispering, you're okay now. You're home. And maybe no one told you this before, but I will. You are allowed to rest even when things aren't perfect. You are allowed to feel calm even if you don't have all the answers. You are allowed to be at peace even while the world is still spinning. Because peace is not something you earn. Peace is something you choose. And tonight, you're choosing it. I am safe. I am supported. I am at peace. Now take a deep breath. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And imagine those words flowing through your bloodstream like a calming river. With every breath, you're reminding your nervous system, there is no threat here, no danger, no emergency, only softness, only stillness, only sleep. Let me ask you one more thing before we continue. What would your life look like if you woke up every day already knowing you are supported? How would you walk into a room? How would you speak to yourself? How much energy would you have if you weren't wasting it on invisible fears? This affirmation isn't just a comfort. It's a tool, a new foundation. Because when you truly believe that you are safe and supported, you stop surviving and you start thriving. That's the power of your mind. That's the gift of choosing your thoughts. And that's what you're doing tonight. So here we are, you and me, sharing this sacred moment. Let's return to the words again. Feel them deeper this time. I am safe. I am supported. I am at peace. Not because everything is solved. Not because life is perfect. But because right now, in this moment, you are choosing to believe in something deeper than fear. And that decision, that quiet, courageous decision, is what will carry you into a new kind of sleep, the kind where your soul can breathe again. So rest, dear friend. Let your bed hold your weight. Let your heart soften. Let your mind settle like dust in sunlight. Because you are safe. You are supported. You are at peace. And peace is your birthright. Let me ask you something most people never even think about. What if your body and mind are doing their most important work while you sleep? No meetings. No deadlines. No decisions. Just quiet and renewal. We often treat sleep like a switch. Turn off the lights, close your eyes, and shut everything down. But the truth is, sleep isn't the end of your day. It's the beginning of your healing. Let me say that again, because it might just shift the way you see your nights. Sleep is not just rest, it is repair. It is the sacred work your body and soul do without your permission. While you're asleep, your cells are regenerating. Your immune system is recalibrating. Your brain is organizing memories, clearing out toxins, building new connections. And your spirit is doing something even deeper. It's coming home. Back to stillness. Back to clarity. Back to the version of you that exists beneath all the noise. So tonight, I want you to speak this truth into your being. My body is healing. My mind is resetting. My spirit is recharging. Say it slowly. Let it land in your bones. Say it again, this time not as a wish, but as a fact. Because healing isn't always loud. Sometimes it's quiet. Sometimes it happens while you do absolutely nothing at all. And isn't that a beautiful thing to realize? That you don't have to strive to be whole. You don't have to perform to be restored. You don't have to earn your healing, you just have to allow it. Let me give you an image. Imagine your body as a forest, deep, ancient, wise. Every night, when you close your eyes, that forest begins to breathe again. Wounded trees begin to mend. Dry soil begins to soften. The air clears. The roots deepen. That's what happens inside of you without effort, without control, without doing anything but surrendering. Now think about your mind, how busy it's been all day. Thinking, planning, worrying, jumping from one thought to the next like a monkey swinging from branch to branch. But right now, that monkey gets to rest. Your thoughts don't need to make sense tonight. Your problems don't need solving. Your emotions don't need explaining. Your mind is resetting. Just like you reset a computer to clear out the junk, to run smoother, faster, better. You're giving your brain the gift of a soft reboot. That's the power of this moment. That's the gift of surrender. And let's not forget the deepest part of you, your spirit. The part of you that feels things words can't touch. The part that longs for more than just sleep, it longs for connection. Tonight, your spirit is recharging not from your to-do list, but from your truth. From presence. From peace. From simply being. Can I share something personal? There was a time when I treated sleep like a chore. Just another item on the list, something to check off. I'd lie in bed scrolling, overthinking, making mental lists for tomorrow. And I'd wake up tired. Not just physically, but spiritually drained. Because I wasn't giving myself real rest. I wasn't honoring the magic that happens when we let go. Then I found this affirmation. And everything changed. My body is healing. My mind is resetting. My spirit is recharging. I began to whisper it before sleep, not in a rush, not as a hack, but as a gentle reminder. And slowly, I started waking up feeling different, lighter, clearer, more me. So tonight, I invite you to try it with me. Let this be your turning point. Let this be the moment you stop just sleeping and start restoring. You deserve that. You deserve a body that heals itself in love. A mind that releases what no longer serves you. A spirit that remembers who you truly are. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, imagine your body letting go. Imagine your cells doing their work. Your brain filing away the day like a wise librarian. Your spirit rising, weightless, reconnected. There is nothing you need to do right now. No one you need to impress. No result you need to chase. You are in the most powerful place you can be, total surrender. So rest deeply. And know this, your body is healing. Your mind is resetting. Your spirit is recharging. Not tomorrow, not next week, right now. Because rest is not passive. It's active healing. It's your nightly return to wholeness. And when you wake up after giving yourself this gift, you'll step into your day not from exhaustion, but from alignment, from strength, from a well of peace that no one can touch. So say it one last time with intention, with trust, with grace. My body is healing. My mind is resetting. My spirit is recharging. Sleep well, beautiful soul. You are already becoming everything you were created to be. Let me ask you something that might be uncomfortable, but deeply important. Have you ever felt like you're not enough? Not smart enough? Not attractive enough? Not successful enough? Not doing enough? Just not enough? If you've ever felt that way, you're not alone. In fact, I'd argue that one of the quietest epidemics in the world today is this. People going to bed every night believing they have to earn their worth. We live in a culture that measures us by output, by results, by productivity, by how much we achieve, how fast we climb, how perfect we appear. From the moment we wake up, the pressure begins. Be better, do more, fix this, improve that. Even your self-growth can feel like a race you're constantly losing. But here's the question that changes everything. What if you stopped trying to be better just for one night and instead allowed yourself to simply be? What if you let go of the checklist, the judgment, the endless comparison? What if you looked in the mirror and whispered not because someone told you to, but because it's true? I am enough exactly as I am. That's not ego. That's not complacency. That's coming home. Because the truth is, your worth doesn't start when you succeed. It doesn't appear when someone finally approves of you. It doesn't grow when your bank account does. Your worth is inherent. It's built into your being. It was there the moment you were born, and nothing you do can increase or decrease it. Let that sink in for a second. Say it to yourself now gently, like you're speaking to the most innocent version of you. I am enough exactly as I am. Now ask yourself this. When did you stop believing that? Was it when someone criticized you as a child? When you failed a test? When you were compared to someone else? When you made a mistake and decided you were the mistake? It's heartbreaking how early we learn to tie our value to our performance, to believe we have to earn love, prove ourselves, hide our flaws. But tonight, just tonight, I want you to drop that story, because it's not yours. It never was. You are not your achievements. You are not your titles. You are not your resume or your followers or the number of unchecked boxes on your to-do list. You are a human being, not a human doing. Can I share something personal with you? There was a time in my life when I thought rest had to be earned. I thought I wasn't allowed to feel proud of myself unless I accomplished something huge. So I overworked, overgave, overthought. And every night, I went to bed tired but not fulfilled. Then one night, after breaking down in tears for the third time that week, I looked in the mirror and said something I hadn't said in years. I'm proud of you. You are enough. Just for being here. Just for surviving. And something cracked open. Not in a dramatic way, but in a quiet, soul-level kind of way. I remembered what the world had made me forget. My existence is reason enough to love myself. And that same truth applies to you. You don't need more evidence. You don't need more accomplishments. You don't need more approval. You just need to remember. So tonight, as you lay your head down, don't ask yourself if you've done enough. Don't grade your day like a teacher with a red pen. Don't scroll through social media, wondering why someone else's life looks shinier than yours. Instead, breathe into this moment. Feel your heartbeat. Feel your breath. Feel the gentle truth rising in your chest. I am enough exactly as I am. And if a voice tries to argue with that, the critic in your mind, I want you to do something bold. Say this out loud. Even that part of me is enough. Because being enough doesn't mean being perfect. It means being whole even in your mess, even in your pain, even in your becoming. Imagine what your life would feel like if you believed this not once, not occasionally, but every single day. Imagine walking into rooms without shrinking. Imagine resting without guilt. Imagine choosing what feels aligned, not what looks impressive. That's not arrogance. That's freedom. That's self-acceptance, the kind the world can't give or take away. So let's anchor it in again. With presence, with conviction, with love. I am enough exactly as I am. Feel those words in your spine. Let them soften your breath. Let them soothe the places inside you that have been trying so hard to measure up. Because here's the final truth I'll leave you with tonight. You were never too much. You were never not enough. You were simply human, beautifully, breathtakingly human. And that is more than enough. Sleep in that knowing tonight. Let it hold you like a soft blanket. Let it enter your dreams and change the way you wake up. Because you are exactly who you need to be right now. And that is a truth worth repeating. Let me ask you a question that might shift how you see the night. What if sleep isn't the end of something, but the beginning of something greater? We often see nighttime as a pause, a shutdown, a break from everything we didn't finish, everything we wish went differently. But what if instead of seeing it as a break from life, you saw it as a powerful moment of preparation? What if right now, as your eyes grow heavy and your breath slows down, you are not stepping away from your purpose, but actually stepping into it? Because here's a truth we rarely acknowledge. Rest is not escape. Rest is alignment. When you rest, truly rest, you don't disconnect from your life. You reconnect to the part of yourself that's been buried under pressure, comparison, and noise. You return to clarity, to strength, to trust. And from that place, you begin to remember something extraordinary. Tomorrow holds infinite possibilities, and you are ready to receive them. Say it with me now, not as a fantasy, but as a fact. Tomorrow holds infinite possibilities, and I welcome them all. Breathe into that. Let those words land where they need to, in your chest, your gut, your spirit. Because they are more than a sentence. They are a declaration. A declaration that you are not living in survival mode anymore. That you're done waking up each day just to get through it. You're done living small because fear told you to shrink. You're ready, not for perfection, not for a guarantee, but for opportunity. And opportunity doesn't always knock loudly. Sometimes it whispers. It shows up as a phone call, a moment of clarity, a random idea in the shower, a kind word from a stranger, a risk you suddenly feel brave enough to take. But you can only receive it if you're open. And openness comes from rest, from renewal, from this exact moment. Can I share something personal with you? There was a time when I used to go to bed with this tight feeling in my chest, like the next day was already set up to disappoint me. I was always waiting for the other shoe to drop, waiting for problems, expecting stress. But then I realized something. I wasn't tired because life was hard. I was tired because I had trained my mind to expect the worst. So I changed one habit. Each night, before I slept, I started saying one simple thing. Tomorrow is full of possibility, and I am open to all of it. Not I hope it will be better. Not maybe it won't be as bad. But I welcome what's next. And everything began to shift. Not because the world changed, but because I did. I started waking up with curiosity instead of anxiety. I started saying yes more to conversations, to ideas, to growth. And even when the day wasn't perfect, I no longer felt powerless. Because I had already decided. The future doesn't intimidate me. The future excites me. And you can make that same decision tonight. You don't need to know how everything will unfold. You don't need a 5-year plan or a crystal ball. You just need one thing: willingness. Willingness to show up, to grow, to try, to fail and try again, to believe even just a little that life still has more for you. And here's the beautiful irony. When you stop trying to control the future, you start becoming available to its magic. So tonight, instead of worrying about what's next, say this with trust. Tomorrow holds infinite possibilities, and I welcome them all. Let go of the resistance. Let go of the doubt. Let go of the belief that you're not ready. Because the truth is, every breath you take in stillness is preparing you for movement. Every moment you rest in peace is creating space for your next breakthrough. You are being refined, not rushed. And tomorrow is the canvas. So paint on it boldly. Walk into it with open hands. Let it surprise you. Because the most beautiful moments of your life might be waiting for you on the other side of surrender. Let me leave you with this. You don't have to chase opportunity. You just have to welcome it. You just have to get quiet enough to notice when it arrives, and strong enough to say yes when it does. So now, as your body softens into sleep, as your heart quiets, as your spirit refills, let this affirmation echo through you. Tomorrow holds infinite possibilities, and I welcome them all. Let it be your final thought tonight. Let it be your first energy tomorrow. And let it be the compass that guides you forward, not with fear, but with hope. Because the future isn't something to survive. It's something to embrace. And you, dear soul, you are ready. Let me ask you something that might hit closer than you expect. What do you still blame yourself for? A decision you regret? Words you wish you could take back? Moments when you weren't your best, when fear, anger, or insecurity got the better of you? Be honest. How often do you lie in bed replaying those memories? Overthinking what you should have done? Wishing for a redo? Whispering silent apologies into the dark? You're not alone. We all do it. We all carry guilt like a heavy blanket we pull over ourselves at night, hoping it might somehow keep us safe. But here's the truth no one tells us enough. Guilt doesn't protect you. Guilt doesn't purify you. Guilt only postpones your healing. So tonight, I want you to lay that weight down. Not because you didn't mess up. Not because you're perfect. But because you're human. Let's speak this affirmation softly, with love and with truth. I forgive myself. I am learning. I am growing. Say it again. Not just for who you are now, but for every version of you that didn't know better. Because we're not born wise. We learn wisdom the hard way through falls, failures, and feedback. And every stumble is a step towards something greater if we let it be. But we can't grow when we're stuck in shame. We can't evolve if we're constantly punishing the person we used to be. So let me ask you this. Would you speak to a friend the way you speak to yourself? Would you replay their lowest moments over and over? Would you remind them every night of the times they failed? No. You'd hold space. You'd offer compassion. You'd say, it's okay. You're trying. You're growing. Now, what if you offered that same grace to yourself? I forgive myself. I am learning. I am growing. Let me tell you something I had to learn the hard way. I used to believe I had to be hard on myself to become better. That if I wasn't constantly self-correcting, I'd get lazy or lost or worse, stuck. So I became my own harshest critic. Every mistake was replayed in my head like a broken record. I'd fall asleep with my jaw clenched, my chest tight, my heart heavy. But one night, after a long cry and an even longer silence, I whispered something I hadn't dared say in years. I forgive you. And you know what happened? Nothing exploded. No one judged me. The world didn't fall apart. But something inside me softened. And in that softness, I finally found space to grow. Because here's what guilt can't do. It can't teach you. Only compassion can. Compassion says, yes, you made a mistake, but look how far you've come. Yes, you didn't know better, but you're trying now. Yes, you're still healing, but that doesn't make you broken. You are not your worst moment. You are not your most shameful memory. You are not the voice that says, I'm not good enough. You are the one who kept going. Who chose growth. Who showed up anyway. And if that's not worthy of forgiveness, I don't know what is. So tonight, I invite you to do something radical. Let go. Let go of the version of you that didn't know. Let go of the loop you've been stuck in. Let go of the belief that you're not allowed to feel peace until you've earned it. You don't earn forgiveness. You choose it. And this affirmation, this gentle mantra, is your invitation to do just that. I forgive myself. I am learning. I am growing. Can you feel that? Each word is like a key unlocking the cage you built around your worth. Each word is a breath of freedom reminding you that you don't have to be perfect to be progressing. And here's the beautiful part. Every single night is a chance to begin again. Not because yesterday didn't happen, but because you're no longer that version of yourself. You've grown. You've reflected. You've become someone who wants better, and that matters more than you know. So as you settle into your bed tonight, as your breath slows, as the day fades from your body, let this be your final thought. I forgive myself. I am learning. I am growing. Say it for the younger you. Say it for the present you. Say it for the future you who will look back and say, that was the night everything changed. Because real growth doesn't begin with pressure. It begins with grace. And tonight, that grace is yours. Have you ever felt guilty for resting? Like you should be doing more, working harder, staying up later? Have you ever laid in bed at night and thought, did I do enough today? Should I have pushed more? What if I'm falling behind? If you've ever had those thoughts, you're not alone. We live in a world that celebrates hustle, that glorifies exhaustion, that tells us our value is measured by how busy we are, how much we produce, how much we achieve. But tonight, I want you to challenge that idea, because there's a quiet truth most people overlook. Rest is not the opposite of purpose. Rest is the fuel of purpose. Let that sink in for a moment. Even when you're not doing anything, even when you're quiet, still, unplugged, you are still aligned with the bigger picture of your life. Say this with me. Even in rest, I am aligned with my purpose. Because purpose isn't just found in action. It's found in intention, in your breath, in your presence, in the way you treat yourself when no one's watching. Let me ask you a deeper question. Do you believe your purpose disappears when you pause? Does it vanish the moment you stop pushing? Or is it possible that the quiet moments, the ones where you let go, slow down, and listen, are the very moments when your purpose becomes clearer? Let me share something from my own life. There was a time when I equated purpose with productivity. If I wasn't building something, publishing something, helping someone, I felt like I was wasting time. But over time, life humbled me. Burnout showed up. My body spoke louder than my ambition. And I realized, purpose isn't just what you create, it's how you care for the vessel that creates it. I began to understand that every time I rested, I wasn't stopping my mission. I was strengthening it. I wasn't stepping away from my purpose. I was stepping deeper into it. Because how can you pour into others when your own cup is empty? How can you move with clarity when your mind is crowded? How can you give your best if you never give yourself a break? Tonight, I want to remind you, your value isn't tied to constant output. Your worth isn't built on non-stop motion. Your purpose doesn't vanish when you close your eyes. In fact, some of your most powerful inner work happens in stillness. When the noise fades, when your breath slows, when your heart finally has space to speak. So don't mistake rest for weakness. Don't confuse silence with stagnation. Just like a seed rests underground before it sprouts. Just like the moon waxes and wanes but never loses its light. You are in perfect alignment even when you're still. Let this be your new mindset. Every moment of rest is an investment in my clarity. Every hour of sleep is a sacred act of self-respect. Every deep breath is a return to center, to purpose, to peace. Repeat this with me, with trust in your voice. Even in rest, I am aligned with my purpose. Feel that in your body. Let it soften your shoulders. Let it ease the tension behind your eyes. Let it quiet the voice that says you should be doing more. Because tonight you are doing something powerful. You are refueling your mission. You are reconnecting with meaning. You are realigning with truth. And when you wake up refreshed, clear, grounded, you'll move with more intention, more energy, and more authenticity. That's what rest gives you. That's what surrender unlocks. So if your mind tries to rush, if your thoughts tell you to stay alert, gently bring it back to this. Even in rest, I am aligned with my purpose. Because rest isn't a pause in your journey. It's the bridge that carries you into the next chapter with strength. Tonight, let this be your belief. I don't need to prove anything. I don't need to do more to be worthy. I don't need to stay awake to stay in alignment. I trust the process. I trust my timing. I trust my purpose even here, even now, in stillness. And in that trust, I finally find peace. So as you close your eyes, as you drift deeper into sleep, let this truth hold you like a warm embrace. Even in rest, I am aligned with my purpose. You don't have to do more tonight. You've done enough. You are enough. Sleep well, beautiful soul. You are exactly where you need to be. Before we close, I want you to pause for just a moment and ask yourself something powerful. What would your life look like if you spoke to yourself like this every night? No criticism, no pressure, no guilt or judgment, just presence, just peace, just love. What if instead of reviewing every mistake, instead of planning or stressing or comparing, you ended each day with calm, with compassion, with clarity? Because these affirmations are not just words. They're not fluff. They're not just positive thinking. These are signals. Gentle but powerful signals sent directly to your subconscious, telling your mind, you are safe now. You are loved. You are ready for what's next. Imagine your mind receiving that message every night. Not fear, not self-doubt, not mental noise, but calm, confidence, reassurance. That's what you just gave yourself tonight. And that is something most people never do. So I want to invite you right here, right now, to make this your new nightly ritual. Come back to this space. Come back to these words. Come back to you. Because no matter how today went, no matter how messy, exhausting, or overwhelming life may feel, you are allowed to return to peace. You are allowed to come home to yourself. You are allowed to let go. Let this be your new nightly promise. To water your mind with truth. To speak to yourself with kindness. To remind your soul of its light. And here's why this matters so much. Your subconscious doesn't sleep. While your body rests, your inner world is awake, shaping how you think, feel, and act tomorrow. So when you fall asleep to anxiety, you wake up with tension. But when you fall asleep to truth, to love, to purpose, you wake up with power. Because a peaceful mind doesn't just change your nights, it changes your life. You start to make different choices. You respond instead of react. You believe in possibilities again. You remember who you are and why you're here. And if this video gave you even one breath of calm, even one moment of stillness, even one thought that whispered, maybe I'm doing okay after all, then I invite you from the deepest place in my heart. Subscribe to this channel, Daily Motivation Secrets, because every day, every night, we're here for your healing, for your clarity, for your growth. This is not just a channel. This is your space. A space to breathe, to reflect, to reconnect with the version of you that doesn't need fixing, just remembering. So as we close, I want you to take one last deep breath. Inhale peace, exhale the day, and let me speak this final truth over you. You are worthy. You are whole. You are growing. You are healing. You are becoming everything you were born to be. So close your eyes. Let the silence wrap around you like a warm blanket. Let the future find you not through force, but through faith. You don't have to chase anything tonight. You've done enough. You are enough. And now it's time to rest. Not to escape, but to renew. Because tomorrow, you rise not from pressure, but from peace. Thank you for spending this time with me. Thank you for honoring yourself. Thank you for choosing stillness in a world that forgets how sacred that is. Good night, dear soul. You are enough. You are loved. You are aligned with a purpose far greater than you know. Sleep peacefully and wake up transformed.